The Trump Organization was found guilty Tuesday on 9 criminal counts of tax fraud, falsifying business records, and engaging in a conspiracy, and could be hit with a fine of $1.6 million for those crimes, but Matthew Whitaker, Donald Trump's former acting attorney general, doesn't seem to think any of it was that serious. Appearing on Newsmax, Whitaker was clearly defensive of his former boss. The investigation into Trump's company, he asserted, was the result of very aggressive prosecutors that want to do anything they can to dirty up and go after Trump. Whitaker then glossed over the illegal tax avoidance schemes by top executives like Allen Weisselberg, claiming they took an aggressive tax position that they couldn't support, ultimately. Of the crimes, Whitaker had a similarly flimsy response. "It's a serious, but not like, that serious, offense," he said. "It's one of those things where New York had every right to try to pursue this case, but I'm not sure that ultimately Donald Trump could get a fair trial or that the Trump Organization is going to get a fair trial in New York City in front of a New York jury," Whitaker continued, along the lines of what the ex-president whined about in a statement earlier in the day. As for Whitaker's interviewer, Newsmax host John Bachman also parroted Trump's line about violent crime in the city, apparently as some sort of defense. "You wonder how the people of New York feel about this," he said of the verdict, which was handed down by Manhattan residents. "When you got surveillance video, I think the newest one is just some guy walking down the street beating somebody up with a bat. Like the president indicated there, you don't feel safe on the subway, but the Trump Organization, yes, their tax strategy has been exposed. Thank you to Alvin Bragg," he said, sarcastically, of the Manhattan district attorney. 2 entities under the Trump Organization's umbrella have been convicted of criminal tax fraud. It's a first for Donald Trump's company, set to tarnish the former president's brand of successful businessman. A New York State Supreme Court jury convicted the Trump Corporation and the Trump Payroll Corporation for engaging in a 15-year scheme to defraud, as well as for conspiracy, criminal tax fraud, and falsifying business records, the Manhattan District Attorney's Office announced yesterday. Dec. 6. The DA's investigation revealed that several trusted executives and managers, Chief Financial Officer Allen Weisselberg and his son, as well as Chief Operating Officer Matthew Calamari Sr. and his son, received substantial amounts of their compensation in the form of off-the-books personal expenses which the companies purposefully did not report in company tax reporting forms, so that those executives and managers could evade paying taxes on the income. Lawyers for the Trump Organization pinned the blame solely on Weisselberg. In August, the CFO, who's currently on leave, entered a guilty plea and accepted a deal that caps a prison sentence at 5 months in exchange for his testimony. The star witness will be sentenced separately. The Trump Organization denounced the verdict, and said it plans to appeal. Weisselberg testified under oath that he betrayed the trust the company had placed in him. The notion that a company could be held responsible for an employee's actions to benefit themselves on their own personal tax returns is simply preposterous, the company told the New York Times in a statement. This was a case about greed and cheating. In Manhattan, no corporation is above the law. For 15 years, the Trump Corporation and the Trump Payroll Corporation got away with a scheme that awarded high-level executives with lavish perks and compensation while intentionally concealing the benefits from the taxing authorities to avoid paying taxes. The former president was not in trial, but prosecutors insisted he was fully aware of the scheme. In their closing statement, they said Trump explicitly sanctioned tax fraud. The Trump Organization lawyers disagreed, painting Weisselberg as an executive gone rogue. "Weisselberg did it for Weisselberg," became the lawyers' mantra. Trump, for his part, has dismissed the investigation as a politically motivated witch hunt ahead of his 2024 presidential campaign, his third time vying for the presidency. Please subscribe.